Chosen one, don't scroll. This is not random. This is not an accident. This is important for you. You didn't find this message. This message found you, because deep inside you already feel it. Something is shifting. Something is ending. Something new is trying to enter your life, and you've been feeling it in silence. You've been carrying things you never told anyone, battles you never posted, pain you never explained. People see your smile, but they don't see your nights. They don't see your thoughts. They don't see your prayers. Late at night when everything is quiet, when the world is sleeping, that's when you talk to God. Not loudly, not perfectly, just honestly, sometimes with words, sometimes with tears, sometimes just with silence. You said things like, "God, I'm tired. God, I don't understand. God, please help me. God, I can't do this alone anymore." And then you waited, and waited, and waited. Days passed, weeks passed, nothing changed. Same problems, same people, same situation. And slowly doubt entered your mind. Did God even hear me? Am I being ignored? Why does everyone else move forward except me? But what you couldn't see was that heaven was already moving. Every prayer you whispered was heard. Every tear you wiped away was seen. Every moment you stayed patient was recorded. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. You were never alone. God doesn't ignore secret prayers. God doesn't forget hidden pain. God doesn't waste real faith. What felt like silence was actually preparation. What felt like delay was actually protection. What felt like nothing was actually everything happening behind the scenes. You were being shaped. Your heart was being strengthened. Your soul was being aligned. You asked for change, but first you were changed. You asked for growth, but first you were broken. You asked for elevation, but first you were humbled, because public blessings require private preparation. If God answered you too early, you would lose what He gave. If God revealed everything at once, it would overwhelm you. If God moved before you were ready, you would not be able to hold it. So He waited, not to hurt you, not to punish you, but to protect you. You thought nothing was happening, but spiritually everything was shifting. People who laughed at you will soon be confused. People who doubted you will soon be silent. People who ignored you will soon ask how it happened. Because when God answers in public, He does it in a way no human can deny. No explanation needed. No proof required. No validation necessary. Just results. The doors that stayed closed for years will open suddenly. The opportunities that felt impossible will appear naturally. The connections you never imagined will find you, not because you chased them, but because God released them. Your season of hidden struggle is ending. Your season of public testimony is beginning. What you suffered in silence will become your greatest evidence. The same people who didn't see your pain will witness your transformation, not to glorify you, but to show what God can do with someone who never gave up believing. You prayed in secret. God will answer in public. And when it happens, you will finally understand. The wait was not a punishment. It was a setup. You didn't tell anyone about the nights you cried. You didn't post about the battles in your heart. You didn't announce the moments when you almost gave up. You stayed silent, but heaven was not silent. There are prayers you whisper that don't even come out as words. Just tears, just sighs, just deep breaths when your chest feels heavy. And those prayers are the loudest prayers in the spiritual world. You thought nobody noticed, but God noticed everything. Every time you smiled in front of people but broke inside. Every time you said, "I'm fine," when you were drowning. Every time you stayed strong for others while collapsing alone. You prayed in secret, and now God is preparing a public answer. Not small, not hidden, not quiet, public. Sometimes God hides you before He reveals you. Sometimes He isolates you before He elevates you. Sometimes He breaks you before He builds you. You thought the isolation was punishment, but it was preparation. You thought the delay was rejection, but it was protection. You thought the silence was abandonment, but it was alignment. God was aligning things you cannot see, people you haven't met yet, opportunities you don't know exist, doors you never even knocked on. While you were praying, He was arranging. There are seasons where nothing makes sense. You do everything right, but everything goes wrong. You stay patient, but nothing changes. You keep believing, but results don't come. That season is not failure. That season is testing your faith without evidence. Can you still trust when there is no sign? Can you still pray when there is no answer? Can you still hope when nothing moves? That's the level most people quit at. But you didn't. And because you didn't quit in private, God will reward you in public. You don't see it yet, but your life is about to confuse people. The same people who ignored you will notice you. The same people who doubted you will ask you. The same people who laughed will watch in silence. Not because you became arrogant, but because God became visible in your life. Your success will not look normal. Your healing will not look normal. Your growth will not look normal, because it will not be human. It will be divine. There are things God only gives to people who suffer in silence. Not everyone can handle secret pain. Not everyone can carry invisible battles. Not everyone can survive emotional storms alone. But you did. You cried alone. You prayed alone. You waited alone. You healed alone. Now your blessing will not be alone. It will be seen. It will be known. It will be felt. God saw the betrayal you never explained, the rejection you never posted, the disrespect you never reacted to, the loss you never showed. You chose silence over revenge, prayer over arguments, faith over frustration, and that choice changed everything. Because when you don't fight people, God fights situations. When you don't defend yourself, God becomes your defense. When you stay quiet, He speaks loudly. You think God forgot the date, the promise, the dream, the vision He showed you years ago. No, He remembers better than you. You forgot how strong your prayers were. You forgot how desperate your faith was. You forgot how serious you were when you said, God, if you do this, I will never doubt you again. He didn't forget, and now the answer is close. Closer than you think, closer than you feel. Sometimes the answer comes as a door. Sometimes as a person, sometimes as an opportunity, sometimes as peace, sometimes as healing. But often, the answer comes as a complete life shift, a moment where everything changes, a season where nothing is the same, a chapter where you finally say, now I understand why I had to suffer. You will look back and realize, if that didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened. If that door didn't close, this one wouldn't open. If that person didn't leave, this blessing wouldn't arrive. If that pain didn't break you, this power wouldn't exist. Your secret prayers created public miracles. Some of you are in the final test, the most confusing one, the most emotional one, the one that makes you question everything. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation, because before God releases something big, He checks if you're still loyal in nothing. Can you still be grateful without results? Can you still be kind without reward? Can you still trust without proof? This level is rare, and you reached it. God is about to shock you in a good way. The thing you thought was impossible, possible. The door you thought was closed forever, opening. The situation you accepted as permanent, temporary. The pain you thought would never leave, ending. The season you thought had no purpose, revealing its meaning. And the most beautiful part, it won't even feel forced. It will feel natural, like it was always meant to happen. You won't need to chase it. You won't need to beg for it. You won't need to explain it. It will come to you, because what is divinely aligned does not require stress. People will ask, how did this happen so fast? What did you do? Who helped you? What's your secret? And your answer will be simple. I prayed when nobody saw. That's it. No magic, no shortcuts, no manipulation, just real faith in dark moments. You didn't need a crowd to believe. You didn't need applause to stay strong. You didn't need validation to keep praying. You believed in silence, and that is why God will bless you in noise. Not for ego, not for pride, but for testimony, so others can see. God still answers. God still heals. God still restores. God still lifts. Your story will heal people you never meet. Your journey will inspire people who feel stuck. Your transformation will prove that waiting is not wasted. Your pain will become someone else's hope, and you won't even realize how powerful your life became. The same God who heard you whisper is about to make your life speak. The same God who saw your tears is about to show your smile. The same God who walked with you in darkness is about to display you in light, not to embarrass your past, but to honor your faith. So don't panic if things feel slow. Don't give up if nothing makes sense. Don't quit if you're tired. Don't doubt if you're confused. You are not delayed. You are being positioned. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. You are not rejected. You are being protected. You prayed in secret, and the public answer is loading. Not because you are special, but because you were faithful when nobody was watching. And heaven never ignores that.